to be taught Torah by another one of our young people. Whatever happens today, sweetheart, you've done the work. You're already a bar mitzvah. Already done it. So as soon as, are we ready? I can't see in the, Leslie, can you tell me? Are we? 2 more minutes, we're ready. We're good to go. Caleb, please join. Okay, we'll begin. We'll be fine. So I think what we should do, because I want you to feel so secure and so good, I'm going to ask your Aunt Titi to help to begin. We're going to start with Aunt Titi, your Aunt Tanisa, giving us your talit. Because I'll tell you, when I put on my talis, I'm ready.
You are?
Yeah, and I want you to feel that too. No, come on up, stay up here. She's going to come up here.
Okay.
We're good?
And then I have to say the talit prayer, right?
That's right. We've got it right
This
here.
is the most informal bar mitzvah ever, isn't it?
No. We've had more, right? Look at Diane. Diane says, "Oh my God, we've been here." Oh, that's right. Max forgot his book at his bar mitzvah. He did.
Wow.
And he was still a bar mitzvah.
I was
so.
worried I might forget mine.
Beautiful. So every week, for these past weeks, since it's been safe, Caleb's been sitting on our porch with Jim, and Jim has these bird feeders, and it's been really hard to concentrate, right? Because he loves, Caleb loves birds, as you know. And look, I'm looking at this talit, and it is filled with songbirds, of course.
And there's actually meaning to some of them. My aunt would explain it better.
Come,
Well,
come over here.
That one was,
Right. It's beautiful.
First of all, the cardinals
Cardinals.
remind us of Mimi,
Yeah.
because that was one of her favorite birds. And here on the back,
Now I'm depressed.
a flying bluebird.
Yes, that one.
And I put that there because on one hand, it fits really nicely on the neck. But on the other hand, it was his papa's favorite bird in the whole world. But I kind of felt like if I put it there, it could be like Papa's patting him on the shoulders on his special day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lihi tatef batzitzit.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
B'chol
Holy
hashachar,
moments.
b'chol-
And now I think what we're going to do is sing Matovu,
Oh, okay.
a prayer that we welcome each other into this holy space with, a prayer that said, what we do
Is it
when no
okay if
one's
I-
watching.
Is it okay if I put my
Will-
mask down, please?
Yeah, of course. You take it.
Because I want to be able to save my breath. I'm sorry.
No, we decided.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We
yeah.
would all be masked, but not you today.
Because I have to talk.
That's right.
It's a bit easier.
So Matuva
Not for any
reminds
other
us
reason.
that what we do when nobody's watching is what brings the blessing.
What I do when no one's watching is do dance.
That too.
And try not to perish.
ושותפים גם יחד.
It is good when we can be together. And this next prayer is about gratitude. But before we go into this prayer, I'd like to invite Sarah, another one of your mother's good friends and supporters, and the circle of friends that has, kind of raised all of these kids in this holy space. So Sarah has a gift for you to also help you get through. That's a good one.
Yes. So it has a tufted titmouse on
Yes,
it.
one of my favorite birds because they're so energetic.
Yes, and they're so
flying around
very,
like mad
very
birds.
much like somebody we love and adore who's getting bar mitzvahed. And yes, and my son sends his love and very best to you. And he has wonderful stories about you when you were wee tot. And we had to babysit you
You mean
occasionally.
like this? Very little.
Yes,
You
well,
couldn't even reach.
yes,
my
you
hand
were
up on
you
it.
were a most interesting squirt. And
Squirt?
squirt. I mean, you were.
Squirp is a fun word.
Well, there's some,
Squirp, squirp.
anyway, there's some Yiddishisms that we could call them too, but so I want to say that your family has been a true blessing to everyone who knows them, and you are a blessing to anybody who has met you.
Amen. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, gratitude
All right.
together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzalmo. Blessed are you, Lord God, who has created me in your image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'chorim. Blessed are you, eternal God, who has made me free. It's okay, I got it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Israel. Blessed are you, the eternal God, who has made me Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. I'm sorry. Blessed are you, the eternal God,
Who opens the eyes of the blind.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who provides clothes for the needy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanotei me'ayev koach. Blessed are you, the eternal God, who gives strength to the weak. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yifin mitzvotei kaver. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who guides the steps of human beings. Yeah,
You got it?
yeah.
Okay.
Reader's Kaddish. Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabba, Ba'alma Divru, Shirotei, Malchutei, B'chayayechon, U'yomechon, U'vayechol Be'Yisrael, Ba'agala, U'vizman Kariv, Ve'imru, Amen. Yehi Shem Rabba Mevorach, Hayolam Yomei Amayel, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Ve'yishtabach, Ve'yitba'ar, Ve'yitramam, Ve'yinaseh, Ve'yithadar, Ve'yitaleh, Ve'yitalo, Shemei Nekudasha B'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushvechata v'nechata, Da'irad be'alma, Ve'imru, Amen. Right? A quote, by the way. When he came home from Selma in 1965, my father wrote, "For many of us, the march from Selma to Montgomery was about protest and prayer. Legs are not lips, and walking is not kneeling. And yet our legs uttered songs, even without words. Our march was worship. I felt my legs were praying. I like
Today
that
is
quote.
the anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech and the March on Washington, and in solidarity with all the people who are marching for voting rights today.
Wow.
Why don't you invite
I didn't
us
know.
to do this?
All right. Please rise as we call each other to prayer with the Baruch.
Beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Baruch hu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch
There you go, sweetie, you're doing great.
Okay. The Yotzer or wait. Yeah.
Just say,
Yeah, you're right. I just say the English.
that's right.
Praise be the God. Sorry.
Say it together.
Be praised our God, ruler of the universe, former of light, creator of darkness, maker of peace, and creator of all things. In your mercy, light shines over the earth and upon all who inhabit it. Through your goodness, the work of creation is daily renewed. How great are your works, O God! In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is filled with all your creations. The work of your hands, O God, praise you. And the wondrous stars and planets of the stars glorify you. Praised be you, O God, creator of all the lights of the heavens. The truth, that love is the ultimate and highest goal to which a man can aspire. Then I grasped the meaning of the greatest secret that human poetry and human thought and belief have to impart. The salvation of man is through love and in love. Love.
Amen.
Sorry.
They're going to sing that.
Okay. And I don't,
Ahavara.
do I sing this? I think that the Shema means to listen. not just to what people have to say about the Torah and what it translates to, but also listen to the world around you, to listen to others. The Shema reminds us to do our best to understand others and to listen to our hearts. I found this quote. It was said by Caleb Bonner. Don't know who that is, but I like the quote. Anyway, please join me in chanting the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. Sit down. All right.
Ready for the Ve'ahavta?
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושופך ובקומך, וקשרת מאוד על ידיך, והיו צוצפות בין עיניך, וכתבת על מזוזות ביתך, ובישעריך, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Together. You shall love Adonai your God
with all your heart,
with all your soul, with all your might, with all your...
Take to heart
these words
which I command
you this day. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them when you are home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you arise. Bind them as a sign on their hand, and let them serve as symbols between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Remember to do all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your God.
Nice. I know, I like reading that part too.
I know that we are often who have crossed many seas. In every service, we remember that the price of freedom is often great, as we sing the same words that our ancestors sang after crossing from slavery to freedom at the shores of another sea.
Nice.
Sounds like a lot of songs, like 90% of the words are just yai-lai.
יחד כולם הודו ישראל, קום בעזרת ישראל, ובדל כל עמך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Stand up. Alright. If I have seen further, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. Is that a good Isaac?
It's a good one. Adonai.
Adonai, Sifatai Tivta,
Ufia Gitzahilatecha.
Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Ve'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Ha'norah, El Elyon, Gomel Chachim Tovim, Bechonei Hakol, B'tzorech Chachim Elohim Mahot, Umevi'u Livnei V'neihem, Amon Shamo Be'ahava, Melech Chozer, Mashiach Ruhin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Yitzchak Sarah. Together. Praise be the God of our ancestors, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, of Jacob, of Sarah, of Rebekah, of Leah, of Rachel. Praise be the source of strength and courage, the source of kindness and good deeds. Praise be the source of gentleness and love, of softness and kind words. Praise be the person who transcends strength through gentleness. Praise be the person who perfects gentleness through strength. Praise be the person who acts according to the best that is within. Praise be the person who reaches out to touch the best in others. Praise be the gentle faithfulness of Abraham and the valiant strength of Sarah. Praise be the God who infused humanity with divine potential.
Beautiful.
Yep.
I love that. Okay.
Atah
Gibor Leolam.
Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechayei Hakol Atah Hoshea. Yeah, I don't think I did.
Got it. Mechachel Chaim Bechesed. Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim Verofeh Holim. Umatir Asurim. Umekayem Bimunato Lishenei Afar
Mihamocha Ba'al Gerot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechayei Umatzmir Yeshua I'm sorry. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei Hakol. We are each other's harvest. We are each other's business. We are each other's magnitude and bond.
You say?
Please be seated.
Oh, actually, not yet. Sorry. My fault.
Oops. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
מקדש שמך בעולם, שם שמקדשים אותו לשמי מרום, ככתוב היה נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ויאמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ, כבודו, אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מדיר, שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעמק חוקי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, ונצח נצחים קדושך נקדיש, ושירך אלוהינו בפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Now you
Hi.
can stay.
Okay. Please be seated. Sit down. All that I promise is strength for this day. Rest from miracle, the light on your way. I gave you the truth when you needed, my help from above, undying friendship, my unfailing love, from God's promise. Oh yeah, we're not doing Bisham.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, are we?
Well, maybe we'll skip that. Just do it here.
Okay, this is a kind of interesting quote. The first piece, which is the most important, is that which comes within the souls of people when they realize their relationship, their oneness with the universe and all its powers, and when they realize that at the center of the universe dwells Wakantanka, the Great Spirit, and that the center is really everywhere. It is within each of us. This is the real peace. The others are but reflections of this. The second piece is that which is made between two individuals. The third is that which is made between two nations. But above all, you should understand there can never be peace between two nations until it is known that true peace, which I have often said, is within the souls of men and women. But he didn't write that part. But obviously, like all humans, all Homo sapiens, and actually probably the other fraction parts of the humans, like Neanderthal. Okay, sorry.
Inclusive. That's what we taught him.
Yeah,
He got the message.
extinct or something.
Let's sing together a song for shalom, which is wholeness. It is
Yes.
about including everyone.
Team Shalom, right?
All right, prayer for peace.
Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, Torah uberaka. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, sim, shalom, sim, 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 shalom, Torah uberaka.
We invite everyone to take just a moment in silent meditation with the meditation that
Yeah.
Caleb has provided
I
for
wrote
us,
something with my
right?
hands on the keyboard.
Thoughtfully, and also reflecting on all of the meditations that he has
Yeah.
provided for us in the service. You can sit down for a minute. Come sit down.
There's no chair. Oh, wait, no, yes, there is. We're actually going to take a look at my quote, and I can see if I can actually think of something about it myself. I'm going to shut them out, though.
Shalom Aleinu Shle'apo Yisrael Yaseh Shalom Yaseh Shalom Shalom Aleinu Shle'apo Yisrael.
All right. Now it's time for the hard part. really, not just hard part, but very hard.
Okay, so you can ask everyone
Yeah.
to kind
Please
of
rise.
be with you as
We're gonna have to
we,
do the
as we
actual
invite
Torah service.
Lydia and Seth to please come forward.
Open this thing.
Honor their brother by opening the ark. And we would like to invite Linda, Janessa's college roommate, and Scott and Janessa and Dryden to come forward as well, so that we can take the Torah. Oh, Auntie, you might as well come up too. Why not? You're part of the village, I know that. There's a big village here.
Of people that had
Titi's
put
always
up
there.
with me.
So you guys, would you open the ark for us?
They didn't have to. Oh, that's
And, you know,
Yes.
I haven't done this in a while.
It is not, this cat is not important. Sorry.
You know, Caleb, we haven't done
Uh-oh.
this in over a year.
Just put it down in case you need it. You haven't had a bar mitzvah in over a year.
Well, we have, but we've been virtual, you know?
Right. Oh,
And I haven't held this Torah in a long time. This is a survivor Torah. First, when I told Caleb he'd be holding the survivor Torah from the village of Holosov in Czechoslovakia, a Torah that survived the war when the people of Holosov did not. This Torah was taken from the synagogue, thrown into a truck, and put into the basement of a synagogue in Prague. And the legend goes, we're not exactly sure if it's true, but the legend is that the Nazis were going to make a museum of Jewish life once all the Jews were gone. But, you know, you never know how things are going to turn out. And in the 1960s, the Torahs were found, over 1,500 Torahs were found in that basement of that synagogue in Prague. And they were taken to a synagogue in London, and they were lovingly restored as much as they could be. But many of them are not able to be read because they were treated so poorly, and they became what we call pasul, which means impure. But they survived. And so we are lucky enough to have one of those Torahs. They were put out for adoption. A congregation in St. Louis that no longer exists gave this Torah to us for safekeeping. And what we do is we've promised to tell its story so that our children, our bar mitzvahs, our students can carry that story forward, because no one should be forgotten. And so every time another one of our bar mitzvah students holds this Torah, they hold it for the people of Holosov, for all those children that didn't get to grow up, for all those people that didn't survive, but it's a witness. And why it's not sad today? Because it saw a lot of weddings. It saw a lot of babies, and it saw a lot of bar mitzvahs in its 164 years that it lived. And so today we celebrate. We celebrate because just like this Torah survived, we survive because one more of our young people has taken on the challenge to learn enough Torah. And you have learned enough Torah, no matter what happens today. You have learned enough Torah to become a bar mitzvah and carry on this tradition from generation to generation. So it's an honor to, I'm going to just kind of, okay.
My mom's college roommate.
Oh, yeah, of course. So representing that generation, thank you so much for being here. Love to hear some of those stories. Let's see, to Mama. To your father, who really is a hero of ours in St. Louis. To Aunt T, who's always here with us, always
She's the
bringing
best.
up, keeping
One
us
of the best.
the best.
He's the best Aunt TT I have ever had.
The best Aunt TT we've all ever had. And Dryden, if you will, give this
Give it to me. It is
Torah
mine
into
now.
the arms of the
Thank
next
you.
one in your family to hold it. And as a sign that you accept this willingly and with all your heart, my dear, please lead us in the words of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai
And we are going to try this just maybe one time down the aisle and up again. So if you want to touch the Torah, come on over to Caleb. You ready for this?
Like this because it's more comfortable. And
Good.
also it's
And come this way, and we'll have a little music and sing and dance and celebrate the promise of peace that we believe are in the teachings of Torah. We're going to ask Lily DeGuire to come on up so she can be here to undress the Torah.
Of course I don't got this, silly.
I've got it. No worries.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we got it. We're good. No, we're good. Well, before you begin, my dear, with your amazing yad here, this is what makes you a bar mitzvah. I'm going to ask your teacher, Rabbi Jim, to come and stand with you as you prepare to read Torah. And we are ready to call the first aliyah. And the first aliyah is, let's see, Ta'amud, Lillian Hope. Let's see, I'm not sure I understand. Let's see. Okay. Bat, John Michael Verivka Basha, and Benjamin Lev, Ben Chava David Shmuel, Seth, not brother Seth, but Colson Seth. Don't know his Hebrew names. Yamdu L'Torah. Come on up. If I called you, come on up.
I said all that, and it ended up being the names of 3 people.
Okay.
This is the first Aliyah, right?
Yes. So here's, come on over here, you guys. He's going to show you that he's reading from right here.
I'm reading, and I'm so cool.
The Hayaki Tavo right there. So now we can close it.
And you guys can come over here. Are you ready for the blessings? Ready?
Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Excellent. Now stay right here.
All right.
Where's your yard?
Right here. All right, let's go.
Okay, we can do it.
I know it's kind of cheating. but
Here,
it's
just take this.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be reading straight from the Torah, but I suck at it. So. והיה כי תבוא אל הארץ אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך נחלה וישב וישבת בה ולקחת מראשית כל פרי האדמה אשר תביא מארצך אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך ושמת בתנה והלכת אל המקום אשר יבחר אדוני אלוהיך לשכן שמו שם ובאת אל הכהן אשר אדוני בימים ההם ואמרת אליו הגדתי היום לאדוני אלוהיך כי באתי אל הארץ אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותינו לתת לנו. Noodles are yummy. Okay. If I ever become a rabbi, I know that it's kind of informal and kind of, weird, but I'm going to end, if whenever I'm doing this one, I'm going to end it with
Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah. Amen. Shakoach, you can shake his hand, tell him how.
well,
wonderful he's
actually,
doing.
let's just,
Do
yes.
this, right, you do
Yeah,
good, that's good. It's another world. Thank you, guys, thank you so much.
Sure.
So we're ready to call the second aliyah.
Hit each other in the elbow, tears.
For the second aliyah, Ta'amod, Miriam Elisheva, Bat Barbara Revabin, Terrell. Where's Terrell?
Terrell, where are you?
Okay,
Terrell.
we got more people. So, Yehudit, Bat Shimon Shmuel Vebela, Sarai, Bat Sarai Velevi, and Dina. I know Dina, that's Dina. Bat Yosef, Yisrael, Bain Levi, Zichrono Livracha, Vanessa, who's also here with us.
I just know, so
All right.
I would notice. Poor Max's eyebrows got a sunburn really bad.
Okay.
It's a thing. I don't know, forget it. Hi.
Okay. Show them your spot.
All right.
Where you're going to read from.
Right
Everybody
here.
come over here. Yeah. Oh,
Am I supposed to start now?
let's wait.
Julie?
Yeah.
Yeah, Julie. Come on.
Megan and Julie. Megan. And Megan.
Come on, Julie, wake up.
Are they on my list? I missed them on my list.
Ding, 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 ding.
My
Morning.
fault.
Hi, Julie.
Right, I think that's right. Okay, so it was really, I was just supposed to say, all the people who helped raise this guy, come on up, that's what I was supposed to say. And then they would have all known, so. Right, there we go. What a village you have, my dear.
Hi.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'charahu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Uh-oh. Velaka hakohen hatenem yadecha, V'hiniho lifnei Mizbach Adonai Elohecha V'anita ve'amata lifnei Adonai Elohecha Adami ovei avi Vayered mitzrama Vayagar sham Bimtei me'at v'hisham Lego gadol azum v'lav V'yareu atanu hamitzlim v'anunu Vayitnu aleinu avodah kasha. Wow. I've been practicing for over a month and I still am only mediocre.
Blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayenu natan b'chaynu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Give this guy
Is that a very good deep breath?
a breath. Okay. Thank you, guys. You can be seated. We'll ask your parents to come and stand with you as we call you to the Torah to become a bar mitzvah. It's really just doing the blessings that makes you a bar mitzvah, my dear. You have a wonderful Hebrew name.
I think I took two deep breaths.
That's okay. We're good.
I guess I'll just inhale just like we're called.
Take a nice sip. Come on back. You want to call him? Okay. Ya Amad, a bar mitzvah, Caleb Eliyahu. Caleb, the one who saw the promise in the promised land. Eliyahu, the prophet,
I'm
that
so
tells
cool.
us
Of course,
that
it's not me.
Mashiach, at a time of peace, is close at hand. This is a big name that you're being called to the Torah with. And we invite you to do the blessings and become a bar mitzvah.
Oh, yeah. Baruch Adonai Hamburach.
Baruch Adonai Hamburach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamburach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen. Vanitzak el Adonai Elohei Avoteinu, Vayishma Adonai et koleinu, Vayaret anyenu vet amaleinu vet lachatzaynu. Vayotziveinu Adonai mimitzrayim, Beyad chazaka uvisroa Uvis Ro Nituya Uvumora Gado Uvotot sorry, Uvumo team Vayevienu El Hamakom Hazeh Vayitin Lanu et Haaretz Hazot Haaretz Zavad Halagudavash. Making my voice wavy at the end because it sounds nice. Sorry.
Land of milk and honey is how you.
Yeah, yum.
And now the blessing after.
Milk and honey wouldn't go good together, though, would it? Sorry. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
So, with our hearts opened by Torah, it's our custom to offer a Mishaberach, a healing prayer.
Oh.
And we have a long list of people who have asked us to pray for them.
Right.
And I hope they know that each day we do hold them in our hearts. Of course, we pray for people with COVID and cancer and Alzheimer's. We're praying right now, of course, for the people in Afghanistan, the people in Haiti, and the people throughout the world who are caught in the crossfire of violence, and people just not figuring out how it is that we can live together in peace. Caleb's portion is about getting closer, coming into the land, and his teaching is about what it means to get there, what we have to do to be able to get there. And I know we are all anxious to be in a better place. And so we're going to ask Leslie and Andrew to lead us in a healing prayer as you hold all of the people who have asked us to pray for them in our hearts.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Especially for our children here and throughout the world, we say, Baruch atah Adonai Rofecha Cholim, blessed are you, source of goodness, source of compassion, source of love. Bring us healing to the sick. Amen. Now, my dear, you know that we are in a very special time in our Haftorah readings. You have a Haftorah.
Should I?
Not yet. That offers consolation. Your portion from Isaiah says, smooth out the edges. Everything's going to be okay. Isaiah promises us that in our walk up to the holidays, right? So let's start with your blessings. Baruch atah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim ratzah b'divleihem הנאמרים באמת, ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוקר בתורה, ומשה עבדו, ובישראל עמו, ובנביאי האמת והצדק. קומי עלי כברך, וכבוד אדוני על העיר צרח. כי הנה החושך יכסה ארץ, וערפל לאומים, ועלייך יזרח אדוני וכבודו עלייך יראה. והלכו גויים לאורך ומלכים לנגע זרחך. שאי סביב עינייך ולי כולם נקבצו ובלך. בעינייך מלאכות יבואו ובנותייך על צד תאמנה. אז תלי ונהרת ופחה וכבד ורחב לבבך, כי יהפך עלייך המון ים, אל גויים יבואו לך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן שכל דבריו אמת בצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה, שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך. יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. I like how the one after the
Okay. We can have your parents give you they can give you a hug, and they can be seated, because now it's time for you to teach us.
Now it's time for the final part.
So teach us a little Torah here. You ready? Okay. Okay.
Alright,
We're
so
proud of you, sweetheart. Right? Yeah.
one.
How about a hug to your dad? This is the front thing.
If you give me $20 for no.
Giving you a little glimpse into what our sessions have been like over the,
All right.
Okay, my dear, you ready to teach us some Torah?
Nope. Let's go.
So I would like you to do this really slowly, because this is a wonderful teaching, and you worked hard
Thanks.
on this teaching.
If you say so. My bar mitzvah portion is out of the ordinary because it is more about the destination than the journey. And it's important because in the wilderness, we have time to learn, but in the land, like in life, we do not always have time to learn the lessons we need in the moment. Some of the lessons that we learn from wandering in the wilderness would be helpful in the land. For example, making idols never ends well. Creating the golden calf reduced God to a thing instead of an unknowable holy being. At the same time, not all the lessons of the journey will help us in the land, so we need to pick and choose the lessons that are most helpful, meaningful, and just. This might be the whole point of Torah, to help us be prepared. While it would be best to learn from the journey, we do not always have enough time to do so. So both our own experiences and the stories of others, like the stories of the Torah, prepare us for the destination. No matter how thoroughly we prepare while on the journey, it is impossible to be completely ready for a destination we've never seen. So we should draw on the wisdom of others as well. In the remainder of my teachings, I will discuss some of the lessons the Israelites learned in the journey from Egypt to the Promised Land. One of the important lessons is that the way you do things is as important as what you do. This is shown in the story when the Israelites were complaining about a lack of water. God told Moses to speak to a rock, and the rock will give them water, and the water would spring forth from the rock. But Moses became enraged because he tried talking to the rock, and he was talking to a rock, and eventually just got mad at the rock and hit it. Water shot out of the rock, but because of losing his temper, not following God's instructions, Moses was not permitted into the Promised Land. In my own life, I know this is a silly example, but in my own life, I can see how I do things as important as what I do. For example, if I load the dishwasher sloppily, most of the dishes stay dirty and my mom gets irritated. If I take time to do it properly, the dishes are clean and my mom is happy, which means I'm much more likely to survive to the next day. Another important lesson is to recognize that listening to others is important, but sometimes taking the minority opinion is the right thing to do. Only 2 people who were born in the wilderness, who were not born in the wilderness, but in Egypt, were allowed into the land: Joshua and Caleb. When the Israelites got to the edge of the land, they sent in 12 spies to look around. All the 2 of them said that it was too dangerous and they should give up. But Joshua and Caleb said that they should continue on ahead. And they were allowed into the Promised Land because of their bravery and steadfastness in the face of opposition. God permitted them into the land. The rest of the Israelites were condemned to wander 40 more years in the desert. Anyway, this shows that the majority is not always right. I see an example of this in my own family. My uncle lives in southwest Missouri, where COVID-19 is currently surging. The majority of people in the area have not taken the virus seriously. They have refused to wear masks, get vaccinated, and make other changes needed to keep themselves safe. He stayed at home, wore a mask, and got vaccinated as soon as he could. Must have been hard to be the minority in this situation, but he's been rewarded by staying safe and healthy. A third lesson is that while we need to think about the journey, we also need to be cautious about choosing based only on the journey. For example, in the story, many Israelites decided they would rather be back in Egypt than endure the hardships of this journey, but they couldn't because it was across the ocean. God punished them by making them wander 40 years in the desert, so that only their children could go into the Promised Land. God actually gave them what they wanted for, because they couldn't go back to Egypt. They decided that they would rather just die. So they did. God gave them what they wanted. God gave them what they asked for. So, all right. This is very important, because imagine what would happen if civil rights activists, human rights activists, or even the suffragists just gave up because the journey was too hard. Nothing would ever change or get better. Like the Israelites, we sometimes are willing to accept injustice because it is familiar. We must be willing to face the hardships of the journey, knowing there are better times waiting in the land. I can see this in my own life. I have ADHD, anxiety, and sensory processing disorder. When mental health isn't managed properly, I'm impulsive and sometimes do things that I regret later. I often lash out at those around me. These things cause problems within my family and make it hard to make friends, and generally make me feel miserable. Like the Israelites, it is tempting for me to try and ignore the effects that my mental health has on my life, to stay in Egypt. But I know that in order to live a full life, I must make the journey of working with my therapist and working with others on my feelings and my emotions and my mental health. At first glance, this portion is about the final destination of Moses and his followers. It gives explanations of new rituals and sacrifices that will be created, and of the blessings and curses that will follow. But upon closer inspection, the portion also demonstrates that the commandments of the future life in the Promised Land are bound up within the past. In our own lives, as we move toward the future, we must consider the journeys of the past in order to find the blessings in our land. As well, Okay, just like the ancient Israelites, we must consider our own good deeds and mistakes as well as those of our ancestors. Only by making the connection between past, present, and future can we reap the blessings and avoid the curses. So I've come to understand that the importance of my portion is to show you that you need to learn the lessons of the wilderness, whether directly or through the stories of others, and be able to find the ones that can help you in the land and in life. Wasn't that good?
That was a wonderful, wonderful teaching. And, I know that when you came in this morning, you weren't sure. Your mother wasn't sure how much of this you could do today. We know you could do the whole thing, but how much you would do today. Because there are, there are challenges in your path. But I said something to your little sister this morning, right, Lydia? We had a little talk this morning. And I said, we didn't make CRC just for everybody. We made CRC for people who maybe needed a little extra space to be themselves. We made this place, this community, so that there would be place for everyone, whoever they are, whatever their path is. Because we know, especially with our children, that sometimes we color outside the lines, in our lives, in the way we do things. And that's okay here. You can color outside the lines as much as you need to here. Because you have become a bar mitzvah, and you did it. And I'm going to ask your teacher, and I know Marian Rosen was one of your beloved teachers here, always let you color outside the line in her class. She made a magical place where, you could be. And I know it was not easy to be online, because I know when you can be distracted easily, it's really to be distracted. Yeah. We always wondered, how many games was he playing at once? Right? Because he could do a lot. He can multitask, So I would like also to hear from a blessing for you to receive a blessing from Rabbi Jim, from another one of your teachers.
Okay.
You have an interesting portion, don't you think?
I guess, yeah.
Here, I want you to do something here.
Uh-oh.
I want you to put your ear. Did you hear that? I'm going to translate for you. What the Torah told you was, there are no wrong notes. Did you hear that? I'll translate for you. There are no wrong notes.
Is that why its notes sounded like a plane flying overhead?
Listen again. Find your silence, and there are no wrong notes. Sing through. Did you feel that? Sing through. There are no wrong notes. Sing through. We've been doing this a long time. And you know what? From 1,000 years ago, there's a lot of kids that read the Torah in a lot of ways. And I can't name one of them today. Not one of them.
Not one of them. What about
But
me?
you stand in line with these kids, and you know what they did? There were no wrong notes. They sang it their own way, and they sang through. They spoke through. They played through. That last prayer you said, the last prayer, the very last one,
Yeah.
after the Haftarah, did that feel good? You
Yeah.
said that felt good.
Yeah, I guess because I just liked being able to make my own tune.
You
Really.
sang through. There are no wrong notes.
Okay.
There's one other thing in your Torah that's really important. In last week's portion, it's all in the singular. We left. I left, he left, she left, singular. This week, it turns plural. We come into the land, we come into something. We become plural. In the 6th verse that you read, we became plural. That means we acquired what you said at the end of your portion, at the end of your talk. We became a we. We started as an I and we became a we. That happens in your reading this morning. So, bless you, child, becoming a human being, a grown-up,
I'm a human.
a human. May you become the best
Scientific name.
plural
Homo
we,
sapiens.
Caleb, that you can become.
All right.
Amen.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. I'm going to ask, Diane
Out of my
Meyer, as a representative of the congregation, as she does so beautifully in so many ways, in the community as well as here. I know that there is a certificate and there is a gift for him. I'm not sure where, I know they're in the building. Is that where they are? It's in the office. Okay, we'll get them. But you can talk about them.
Get stuff.
Caleb, you're, just a few more.
I didn't.
We're there. We're getting there.
What?
Look at Diane.
Hi, Diane.
What color are my eyes?
Well, on the inner part, well, obviously on the very inner part, the actual pupil, the iris, it is, the normal black color of most people's eyes. But around the iris, it's green, except on the very edge, which is this blue, like it's tiny tinge of green, but it's really just blue.
Your eyes are so beautiful.
My eyes are just plain brown.
No, there's no plain brown.
Okay, they're chestnut brown.
You did a great job. We're going to plant trees, 2 trees for you in Israel. You'll have a certificate, and it's a DACA box.
I have trees. I own trees now. They're my trees. Except, I don't even know.
Okay, look at me.
Oh, I get a Sadaka box?
You're going to get us a DACA box. You're going to get lots of things, but the most important things are your friends
Yes.
and your family.
Yes.
And you did a wonderful, wonderful job. Okay? You did a great job. Keep going.
Thanks, Diane.
And now we would like to invite the musicians to come back. Leslie and Andrew, thank you for being here. Always good to hear you. What? Not yet. And we're going to invite your brother Dryden to come forward.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are going to ask everyone to please rise.
Dance.
Please dance. Dryden to come up so we can dress the Torah and return it to the ark. All right.
חיים למחר חיבה בתור מחאה תעשה נועם בכל נתיבותיה
Put our high holiday cover on the Torah in anticipation of Slichot tonight. Tonight is the Motzei Shabbat before, not exactly before Rosh Hashanah, but enough before Rosh Hashanah that it's tonight. And the heavens, the tradition is that the heavens begin to open, the gates open to our prayers tonight. And so we will be here at 9:30, right here actually. For a masked, socially distanced service that we hope will also be streamed, if we can get the streaming right. And now we face east towards Jerusalem, towards that city of peace.
Which direction is that?
This way. We pray that our prayers will go through the streets of our cities and that we will, Aleinu, take upon us all of the things that we have to do. Take on the challenges of arriving in the land and making a difference. So come on over here with me. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gdula yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam hakenu kachen, v'gor aleinu kakol. משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצא ארץ ומוקשה יקרו בשמיים ממעט ושמיים נטוסו וגופי מרומי Everyone can be seated. We are, except you. Oh, no, stay with me. We're almost done. We're so close. This is the end. But we cannot end a service without remembering those people who have died at this time in years past, those whose yard site are at this time, and those who have died in the past year. I have some names that are on our Kaddish list from deaths since last August. We have Donna Levitz and Rodney Barton and Orna Nitzan, Dr. Norton Cronemer and Sam Stock and Vern Benjamin and Byron Wetzler and Virginia LaRocca, Anthony Sean Hikes,
Howard Handelman, Mem Mofshin, Shirley Gershon, Joel Leon, Jose Maria Velasco Sr., Jeffrey Watson, Mort Wexler, Carol Katz, David Levin, Greg Carlson, Judith Coleman, Lindsay Margulis, Benjamin Katz, Stephen Watson, Evelyn Rudin, Jonathan Kletnick, Michael Parker, Donna Kitchen, Arlene Meltzer, Sydney Nauster, Lizzie Pressburg, Dr. Nellie Grosswasser, Madeline Iris, Lou Myers, Mel Padower, Jerry Berger, our past president Jack Oglander, Robert Fauser, Eleanor Flegel, Ann Alter, Tootsie Esrock, Peter Fishman, Erwin Polak, Carl Wiley, Ann Fetterman, Emily Engelhardt, Connie Wacker, Alvin Nissenbaum, Tammy Kime, Marcel Polak, Bernard Tobin, Gary Rikus, Joan Klein, Michael Kiernan, Father Robert Johnston, Orietta Cohn, Dan Sokol, Dr. Erica Gardner, Herbert Fagan, Gail Hollifeld, Alex Hochberg, Ethan Gonzalez, Raphael Berger, Marie Elaine Nicholson, Tucker Wright, Ed Lander, Tyler Shemwell, Andy Neiman, Robert Bobby Murrell, Judge Roberta Hitt, Andy Rockman, Gary Winicky, Matt Friedman, Janice Marks, Sarah's mom, Karen Margot, Art Peters, Suzanne Cooperman Gill, Joan Zucker, Susie Essman's mom. And most recently, in their funeral will be tomorrow, Allison and Josie Abitz, a mother and daughter who died together. And I met with their family yesterday, and they appreciate all the love that people are sending them in this terrible time of their grief. We have yard sites at this time too. Joseph Diamond, Sandra Gerwich, Francis Rosen, Harold Spiegelglass. Our member from a long time ago, remember David Apirion? Such a great guy. Gretel, Yosefi Banger, Susan Spiegel and Miriam Raskin were always here to remember their aunt, Marvin Cohen, Esther Rivka Diamond, Harold Glazer, Lawrence Layton, Hannah Litsky, Dustin Twellman, another 16-year-old who died, Joseph Wexelman, Sal Lubeck, Louise Mandel, Hyman Marks, Janet Haney, Natalie Huffman, Donna Levitz, Lee Lieberman, Theodore Berg, Jerome Kornfeld, Helen Cooperstein, Joan Tumungo, Rini Nowski-Wolf, Jean Altman, Speedy, Sally's dad, and Rita Wexler. And let's open this to your remembrances, my dear. And I know you have special people to remember. Would you like to name them here? A beautiful picture.
My grandparents, Jackie and Shirley Hall, were amazing people. My Mimi was kind, smart, and stubborn as a mule, in a good way. She was always so kind to me. My papa was also kind to me in a life of service in the Air Force and as a police officer. I miss them both so much, and their kindness will always stay with me. I know that nobody's perfect, but Mimi and Papa were pretty darn close.
That's beautiful. Beautiful tribute. Thank you for bringing them closer to us here. We appreciate that. And if someone has a yard site or in their year of mourning, we invite you to stand first so we can hear the names of the people that you've brought. You remember who? Well, hard not to think about your dad, too. He's here with us for sure, sitting right in that row with you. So may their memories be a blessing. Sarah?
So it's my grandmother, grandmother, on Labor Day. So although it's next week, here, I don't know what the situation is about services for next week. So,
Who knows?
yeah, right.
So here we are.
We are, we're done.
May your memories be a blessing. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, Leslie.
Grandmother Alice Baer.
Oh,
She
my.
shook her finger at you at our wedding and said, no blessings, no ceremony, no rings, get on with it.
She did. She did. She was something. Yeah, thank you for bringing her memory here. That's great. So let's stand together, remembering all of these good people filling the space with their memories. As long as we remember them, we carry them with us. And they live on through us, through our good works. So let's say together these words that don't mention death, that celebrate life and pray for peace. So we say, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chayedachol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imromei. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalei v'yitalal, shmei dekudasha barichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlomo Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav, uya aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. Want to sit down for a minute?
Oseh shalom b'mrumav, uya aseh shalom. Aleinu
Be seated. We'd like to invite Caleb's parents to come up and give him a blessing. You know, at the end of the portion it says, you're going to get eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart to know. If you just, as Rabbi Jim said, push through, right? So, you got it. You got the eyes, you got the ears, and you got the heart. So, listen to your parents.
Caleb, my wonderful son, what I wish for you is an abundance of strength, empathy, kindness, and hope. These are the building blocks that make a good person and make that person able to make change in the world. Make meaningful change. I love you, Caleb.
Unlike most parents here, I distinctly remember the day that you became a Jew because I converted after you were born. You weren't quite 2 years old, and when I went to the mikveh for my conversion, you came along as a bonus deal. After I immersed, it was your turn, and I was still standing in the mikveh, and you stripped off all your clothes as fast as you could, laughing like crazy, ran as fast as you could, and leaped, never doubting that I would catch you. So, my blessing for you is this. Look at me. That you find a life that's like that day, where you are vulnerable and joyous, and you leap into the world unafraid, and that you are caught up in the loving arms that will keep you safe. You did a good job with that. All right, dude.
Stay up here. We are almost done. One more blessing. Let's get the whole family up here.
All right, dude, we're done. We're done. It's okay.
So, generations of your family represented, all here with you. You are now a bar mitzvah, my dear. So I'm going to ask the congregation to rise. Let's put our arms over this family and over our newest bar mitzvah, and let's give them a blessing. As we say, hold on to each other. That's what we got. Yivrachecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May all that is good and high and holy bless you and keep you safe. Make sure there are those arms to catch you before you leap. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. Don't ever be too afraid to see the light, my dear, because it is all around you and it comes through you. And sometimes you get in your own way there, but I see it flowing through you, and you did great today. Really, letting go and letting God. You did. Yisad panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May all that is good and high and holy help bring us all a little closer to that path of peace, of shalom in our hearts, our homes, our community, and God willing, soon for our planet. As we say, Amen. Amen. Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov.
Sing it up,